I've long said that Index Universal Life is not a stock market replacement, but a bond replacement. If you reach into your portfolio, remove the bonds, and replace them with IUL, you'll increase your return, lower your risk, lower the standard deviation of your entire portfolio, and experience a better outcome over time. Well, a recent commenter on one of my videos took issue with my position and had this to say, quote, "A bond replacement? If you have a 25-year window, why would you not just buy into a tax-free municipal bond fund versus this mess? Makes absolutely no sense. You could create a tax-free income and have income coming in from your bond for 25 years. Again, these products are designed for folks who do not know any better. Less risk? You are losing a fortune and paying a whole bunch of fees, in my opinion, over the life of these products. But hey, they make the IUL sound good, and like P.T. Barnum so famously said, there is a sucker born every minute." Close quote. So let's tackle this commenter's assertions one by one. He first makes the claim that if the IUL were to be stacked up against municipal bonds, of all things, over a 25-year period, then the income that municipal bond would produce would be far superior to anything the IUL could provide. Well, before I show you how these two products actually stack up against each other, let's discuss why people use municipal bonds in the first place. The primary reason they use them is because of their tax equivalent yield. What's a tax equivalent yield? Let's say your muni bond returns 3% and you're in the 30% tax bracket. We divide 3% by 1 minus your marginal tax bracket, and that tells us the rate of return you'd have to achieve in your taxable investment to beat the municipal bond. In this case, if your taxable investment alternative doesn't offer at least a 4.28% return, then the municipal bond is likely a better deal. By the way, the higher your income tax bracket, the higher the tax equivalent yield of your municipal bond. The problem with the IUL municipal bond comparison is that IULs are also tax-free. So if your municipal bond is averaging, say, 4% return, then you don't have to perform the tax equivalent yield calculation to determine whether the IUL will outperform it. Both alternatives are tax-free, so for all intents and purposes, it's a like versus like comparison. So when you compare the municipal bond versus any other tax-free alternative, the municipal bond loses a lot of its luster. Okay, so now let's take a look at the numbers. If we accept the commenter's challenge and stack the IUL up against a municipal bond, how would it fare over that 25-year time frame? When I ran my comparison, I used two 40-year-olds, both of whom were contributing $10,000 per year to either alternative. I then had them contributing for 25 years until age 65. Once at 65, they both began to take a stream of income. I ran the municipal bond alternative at 4% per year because that's about what they've averaged over the last 25 years through high and low interest rate environments. I ran the IUL at 7%, which is what IULs with top-rated carriers have delivered since 2006. Here's an example of a company that's averaged 8% and another that's averaged 7%. All right, let's take a look and see how each alternative fared over time. We'll begin with the Index Universal Life alternative. Starting at age 65, we begin taking a tax-free income of $60,000 per year all the way through age 100 for total cumulative distributions of $2,160,000. When we try to reproduce the same level of income out of the municipal bonds, conversely, we can only sustain it for a little over 8 years. That's cumulative distributions of $497,783. So had we taken the advice of our friendly YouTube commenter, we would have lost out on $1,662,217 of income. So no, you will not be losing a fortune by using Index Universal Life. What would lose you a fortune, however, is foregoing the IUL in favor of municipal bonds. But the bad news doesn't stop there when it comes to municipal bonds. Any interest you receive from your muni bonds counts as provisional income. That's the income the IRS tracks to determine if they are going to tax your Social Security. So if you contribute to munis for 25 years and then begin to take an income, that income will increase the likelihood that you'll pay tax on your Social Security. Loans from an IUL, conversely, do not count as provisional income. So not only are you able to take more income from the IUL, but that income does not count as provisional income and increases the likelihood you can receive your Social Security 100% tax-free. Furthermore, municipal bonds aren't truly tax-free. While they are free from federal tax, they are only free from state tax if you purchase them within the municipality within which you live. Also, let's say you buy your munis in the form of a mutual fund, as this commenter seems to be recommending, and that mutual fund increases in value and you sell it at a gain, you'll also pay capital gains tax. None of those taxes apply to a properly funded and structured IUL. Lastly, let's go back to the commenter's second claim. You're losing a fortune in fees if you purchase an IUL. As I made the case in other videos on this channel, the longer you hold the IUL, the less expensive it becomes. In fact, if you hold it for 25 years or longer, you'll get to the point where the average fees per year are 0.5% or less. That's likely less expensive than the fees you're paying in your current 401k. Low fees and robust rates of return explain why the IUL fared so well in the previous comparison. So are IULs designed for people who just don't know any better? Are you a dupe if you enter into an IUL? In today's video, I showed you a fair side-by-side comparison demonstrating how the IUL distributes more than 4 times as much income as the muni bond alternative. IULs provide superior rates of return, superior income, and a death benefit to boot. Furthermore, should you need long-term care somewhere along the way, you can receive your death benefit in advance of your death for the purpose of paying for it. Now, a reminder, the IUL isn't a silver bullet, and it isn't a panacea. It should only be considered as part of a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement that includes Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, and Roth conversions. However, when stacked up against municipal bonds, a properly structured IUL with a top-rated company wins the game every single time. Folks, in the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 100,000 Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you'd like some help getting on the road to a tax-free retirement, be sure to check out my tax-free toolkit. You can download it for free at taxfreetoolkit.com. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Power of Zero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free 3-part video series. By the way, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I respond to every single one of them personally, and don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.